Hello everyone, this is Vibhashit and this video acts as a final presentation for the Schedule Facilitating System, a project for our IT 495 capstone class. The aim of the project was to develop a schedule facilitating system for Dr. Caleb, the Director of School of Information Technology. It is a project based on web technologies such as JSF, Prime Faces, CSS, Ajax, Bootstrap, and JavaScript that would enable Dr. Caleb to create a new schedule for each semester or modify an existing one. Also, the application follows an ISU theme, which makes it consistent with other ISU websites. This will help the client to assign classrooms and resources properly to each faculty, in addition to avoiding any conflicts. The current system uses manual approach and it is very time consuming. Every semester, Dr. Caleb makes a new schedule to assign classrooms to professor and check if there are any conflicts. As of now, the process starts by faculty submitting their preferences to the director regarding the classes they are willing to teach, along with the preferred days and times. When Dr. Caliph receives the feedback from professor, she starts preparing an Excel spreadsheet by making use of faculty preferences, which she keeps as printouts, and assign classrooms to faculties by making sure that there are no conflicts. She also maintains an Access database for the same and has to update it 3 times. Now, Gunjan will be taking over to explain the first part of the application.
Thank you, Vibhashit. Hi all. I'm Gunjan, and I'll be taking you to the next three features for this application. And those three features are the sign up, which is a bonus functionality that we have added. The next one would be the login page, and the third part would be setting the preferences by a professor. So, taking you to the sign up part, this is the landing page where I am not already a registered user. I'll click on the sign up link right here. I will enter my first name. In this example, I'm going to use Dr. Thibault's credentials to sign up. So, my first name, the last name, and the ULID needs to be what it is within the ISU system. So I'll be using the same ULID, that is TBGYIRES, and for the sake of showcasing the functionality, I'm going to keep the same password. So the only mandatory requirement is that the password needs to be 8 or more characters long, and going ahead we can sign up. Once we have signed up, I'll use the same credentials that I just signed up for, and I will log in now. Okay, so this is the landing page for any faculty that logs in. So the first tab that explains is to do's. Hardika will come back later in the video to explain you what this tab is about. I will be talking about setting up the preferences, mostly days and time. So a professor will go on and click the preferences tab right here, and it 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 gives the details of all the necessary requirements and an explanation of what the code and their meanings are. As of now, it will populate for all the courses that are in there in the application, and a professor can go on and select each of them and select their interest level. They can also select if they need a lab for that particular course, and can also add course specific comments if there are any. The next part is the days preferred. Since we have not set anything yet, it will all show as none, none, none. I'll go ahead and click on edit preferences now. I'm going to the last tab here and setting the course preference for IT 495, saying strong, and adding a test comment. The days that I prefer are Mondays and Wednesday, right from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. And just to add a few test comments, these comments are basically for any generic comments with respect to your preferences, if there are any. And the last part is for topics, other topics that you are interested in, and I will add another test comment here. And I click on save. It says that my all the changes are saved successfully, and I'll go check them on seeing this IT 495 as lab needed yes and interest level strong with the test comments that I just added, and all the other fields are updated as you see here. The next part will be I will hand over the rest of the presentation to Nikunj, and Nikunj will take it from there.
All right, thank you, Gunjan. This is Nikunj here, and I'll be explaining and giving you a quick walkthrough of a few modules which we developed, and these modules will gonna use by our admin, which we are considering Dr. Caliph. So she will require to log in the system using the admin account, and by clicking on login button, she will be directed to the admin landing page. Now here on the admin landing page, we have a few features like she can create entirely a new schedule, or she can modify the existing schedule in the system. Then we have these tabs like pre-settings, prepare schedule, conflict, review schedule, and send for review. So I'll be explaining these tabs in a while. So okay, so let's get started with creating the new schedule. So let's say if I create schedule of spring 2017, and if I click on create, so this will create a new schedule for 2017 which is blank right now. So you can see the message that new schedule has been created. So now I need to go to pre-settings and add courses for this semester. So these are the list of professors I can see. I can navigate through all the list of professors. If I want to search for the professor whose name starting from J, so it will directly sort the list. If I just want the active professor, it will give me the list of active professors, so on and so forth. So if I, let's say, want to add a new professor, so I can go here, and tomorrow, let's say, Dr. Caliph wants to add me as a professor, so she can give my name here, and my employment status is active, availability status is available, and add professor. So my name will going to add in the list of existing professors in the ISU. So I can search for that. So here you can see the list. My name has been added here. So now I'll quickly walk through the rooms tab. So here you can see the list of all the rooms which are available for the students of and professors of School of IT. And here we have the courses. So let's say in this semester I want to add few courses. So I'll click on edit course. So this will give me the editable list of all the courses. So let's say if I want to add IT 353, one class for IT 353, and one class for let's say two classes for IT 296, and then one class for let's say IT 150. So if I now click on save changes, now these many classes will going to add in this semester. So let's wait for it to load. Alright, so here you can see that this course has been added. So like we have one course for IT 150, and for IT 350 we should see one course, and then IT I think 496, we have two sections for IT 496. So I think we are good with this. So let's start with preparing the schedule. So we can see that one section for IT 150, one for 353, and two sections for with section 1 and 2 for IT 496 has been added. So let's say if I want Dr. Let's say Tibor wants to teach this subject. So this will bring up the list of the interest of teaching interest of Dr. Tibor and the day preference, time preference, which Gunjan added in the previous steps. So everything is getting picked up from the database. So let's say if he wants to teach on Monday, Tuesday from 10 to 11:15 a.m. in IT in this room, and then for let's say Dr. Lim ID 353. So this will bring up the list of Dr. Lim, and this will he again wants to teach on this day at let's say at the same time am, and okay, so then for let's say Sherry Higgins, so let's say these many rooms, time 2 to 3 am, and Dr. Tang, let's say there is Dr. Okay, so here is Dr. Tang, and then so this is again bringing up the teaching interest of Dr. Tang, and then let's say if I add Dr. Tang again here, and 3 to 4 p.m. Let's change the room. Okay, so now if I click on save changes, it will save the schedule for this semester. So now you can see that all the changes have been saved, and this schedule has been saved, and this is still remain intact on the screen. So if you go to conflict, so we can see that there are a couple of classes IT 150 and 353. They are getting conflicted because this is happening in the same room on the same days. That's why it's a conflict. So now in the further steps, my teammates are going to explain how to resolve conflicts, and so here you can also okay, so there are a few following steps. So I'll request Meenu to go forward with the presentation.
All right, thank you, Nikunj. Now let's move on to the next tab that says preview schedule. So preview schedule is where the reports will be generated for the schedule that's being prepared. So over here, the admin can see various options of various views of the same schedule. So the first one is the course section view, where it will be sorted based on course and then by the section, and then it will list all the professors, the instructor, the days, time, and the classroom that each classes has been assigned. The next to you is the instructor, so it's the same one where it's being listed based on the professor and then the corresponding data. The third view is the timetable, where the days and the time will be it will be sorted based on the date and the time. And the last one is the classroom view. Over here we have two different, so this is based on the classrooms. So for each classrooms, what are the times and what are the classes happening in this happening in that given time. So there are two different views of this one. The first one is Monday, Wednesday, Friday view, and the second one is Tuesday, Thursday. So over here we can see in CVA 151 at the same time we have two different classes happening, and that's a conflict that Nikunj explained. And if you move on to the Tuesday, Thursday, you could see there are no classes being scheduled at that time. So that's the preview schedule part. And moving now, let's move on to the next tab, that is send for review. All right, now we are on the send for review tab. Over here, you could an admin could enter as many ULITs as she desires, and these will be ULITs for the reviewers who would be reviewing the schedule that was just created. So these could be anyone. It could be a faculty, or it could be any. It could be like a person whom she she wished to review the profile. So she needs to provide the ULIT for the reviewer, and you could add as many and you could delete however number you want. Now for demoing, I'm just gonna register myself as a faculty. So we have a test entry in our database with my ULIT as as a reviewer, as a user. So I'm just going to enter there, and this also triggers an email to be sent. So when I enter a particular person's ULIT as a reviewer, he or she will get an email with a request, so she can so that person can take action as needed. So I'm going to click send for review, send for request, and it says reviewers have been added, and that said that okay, I got an email saying you have been invited to review the draft version, and that with that he or she can log into the system and get that review done. Now there's another feature that was left on the preview schedule tab. It's to export the schedule to an Excel or a CSV format. So if say we click on Excel button here, it will download that schedule, and you could okay, so I'm trying to open the schedule, and this is the schedule that was just downloaded. This format seems to be a little different from what we saw in the preview schedule. This is the format in which Dr. Califf has maintained her Access database. So this will be downloaded in that format, and so this she could easily import this data right into her Access database, so that that manual copying of data into that step of manually copying the data can be avoided. So that's the main feature with downloading. She could also do it as a CSV file if she wishes to, and that would be pretty much about the preview and the send for review. Now, so Hardika will now explain about that task that was assigned to that MSABU ID. She'll log in and see what one can do with the account with the review, the schedule that was sent for review. Yeah,
We'll log in as what Meenu used her ULIT as. So here we can see that the status is not started because we have not added any comments yet. So we'll click on load schedule. We get the status as in progress. We'll go to view or hide schedule. Here we can see different schedules with different views, like course section, instructor view, timetable, MWF, and Tuesday, Thursday view. So I can see a conflict here, so I'll add a comment saying that there is a conflict here and submit the comment for the admin to view it. And now we can see that the comments had been added successfully, and the status shows as no new items for the faculty to add. So I'll just sign out of this. So now Shweta will take away from here and explain the last part of the system.
Okay, thank you, Hardika. So I'll be talking about the modify schedule part. So I log in as admin. Okay, so this part is where she can come up and she can pull up a schedule which was already created, and she can open that for modify. So I have selected spring, which was created by Nikunj, and I do modify here. So, okay, and now the schedule is ready to be used. I have the similar tabs for her. If she wish, she can change the list of professor, rooms, or courses. But I move to the prepare schedule, and I see the schedule which is pre-populated, which was already saved by Nikunj. So now I see two buttons like update changes or save as new schedule. So what I can do is I can do the update changes. I can make some changes as I can either change the professor, I can make it Ilahi, and I can see her preferences, but I stick to Dr. Tibor, and I can see the comments. Okay, so in the prepare schedule, she'll be able to see what all comments as a faculty entered. So Hardika walked through this process and she entered, I see a conflict in CVA 151. So yes, there is a conflict. So what we can go ahead and change it and make it remove that and do this, and Okay, I can change the classroom. So now there is no conflict. And I do the update changes. Okay, so now my changes are saved successfully. I can go to conflict and I can see that there is no conflict now because there was none in my schedule. So this is something, and then I can move and I can save the same schedule as a new version. So she can take a spring 2017 schedule, and if she wants, she can save it as a new term, maybe say fall, and she can do it 2018 maybe, and then she can do it save as. Okay, so we can see that the schedule was saved successfully as fall 2018. I'll come back to it. Similarly, we can see the preview schedule like we did. We can still download and save it as CSV or XLS format. She can again send it for review, and she can add another review, and same process as Meenu walked through. So I'll show one last thing, which was I created fall 2018 schedule. So I'll go to fall and I'll select fall 2018, and we see that this is now created. So she can again click on modify and she can take up with this schedule now. And I can show that preloaded. So this was all which we had in the earlier one as well. So this is all, and if you have any questions, let us know. We'll be able to answer as many as we can. Thank you so much for listening.